Greetings. I've done a lot of videos on leadership over the course of all the years I've had this particular YouTube channel, and I usually will have some kind of story with a morality issue at the end of it, which is really the point of the story, talking about a leadership principle that you should probably follow or at least think about adding to your portfolio of leadership. Well, I started thinking about it and I said, I've never really told anybody how to do any of the things. I've just kind of highlighted things that have happened to me and then given more a point. So over the next course of videos I'm going to do, I'm going to offer specific tips on how to do something. In this particular video, I'm going to tell you how you should start your leadership of a new group of staff or employees or whatever term you want to use, and how you establish yourself so that they know what you're about and they know what to expect. So this time I'm doing 4. So here's the first one. If you're a new leader at a place, whether you've already been there and now you've been promoted or whether you've gone in there totally brand new, you need to find a way to meet with every employee that reports to you individually. Now, if you've got 500 people, that's probably going to be something you're not going to be able to get away with, and you're probably going to have to just throw that one out. But if you've got less than, I will say, 75 people, then you should try to do it. It shouldn't take you that long if you have something prepared, because really you're just going to meet every single one of them. You want to see what they think of what's been going on in the department. Like I said, if you haven't been there before, you're probably going to have no real idea of what people's issues are. But it's a good way to at least open up a communication. Even if you've been there, it's a good way to open up a communication, because one of the problems that happens when someone gets promoted is there's some people who are upset that they didn't get the position, or there's some people who's going to see you in a totally different light and you're not going to be able to talk to them the same way. So that's a good thing to do, is to try to find a way to meet with every single employee. The second thing you need to do is, once you've done that, you need to meet with the group, different groups. For instance, if you have more than one department that you're responsible for, my goodness, I couldn't get that out. If you have more than one department that you're responsible for, then meet with each department separately. But if you don't have anything like that, then you need to meet with the group. And the reason you do that is because this gives you the opportunity to establish goals with the department. Here's a truth that not many people have thought about. We throw away a lot of terms, a lot of terminology. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. My main industry is healthcare, but we throw these terms around and you start to find out that everyone doesn't know what those terms mean. They may have heard them and then they've gone about their work. So this gives you a chance to establish your goals. What are your goals? Well, one of your goals is probably going to be to try to increase the productivity of the department. There's your goal. How are you going to do it? Have something. Or maybe you say, we're going to come up with a plan. I'm going to speak with supervisors, if you have supervisors, and we're going to come up with a plan so that we can become more proficient. Different things like that. Now, here's number 3. You need to tell people up front what your leadership style is like, and then you stick with it. It's probably best if you do this in the group rather than saying it to each individual person, because you say that to one individual, then they go back and tell everybody else what you said, and then you've pretty much lost you've lost your audience. So probably in a group way, you could actually send it out in a newsletter, although I would prefer if you did it one-on-one or one-on group, because everyone should know what to kind of expect from you. But then you have to stick with that. For instance, my way of leading basically said that everyone is accountable for their own work. I'm going to set up a way to track the work that you do. I'm going to find ways to get you all the education that you need, but you're going to decide how you do your work so that you can hit your goals, so that the department can hit their goals. I'm not going to tell you every single day what you need to be doing. Every once in a while, we might have kind of an emergency thing, or I'm looking at the numbers and saying, oh my goodness, you know what? I think that we probably need to concentrate on this for a little while because it looks like it's being overlooked. But in general, I'm going to make you accountable. Now, I know not every single employee actually likes that, But you have to do what you need to do. Maybe your style isn't my style, but you know what? If that's not your style, you should tell people what that is up front. And by the way, here's the thing. You're going to have some people who don't like it to the extent that they're going to want to leave. Well, I'm sorry to say this. If they got to leave, they got to leave. Not that you fired them. You might decide later on that they're not up to the work that you need, and you might do that. But people should know what you're going to be all about. And here's number 4. If you promise that you're going to do something, find something, find some way to deliver proof that your word is your bond. I did that on the very first day of, well, the last full-time job that I had. And it was only after talking to a few people and actually looking around. I didn't even need any feedback to realize that my department, actually I had 3 departments, but 2 of them were broken. And one was broken and it was visible to the entire facility. So I made changes the very first day. And they saw what the changes were. The CEO knew, the C-suite knew, a whole bunch of different department directors knew because I wrote a letter and I changed things on the very first day. And those folks who'd had someone else that they were reporting to saw right off the bat, wait, Mitch is going to change things. He's not going to let things just kind of sit around like the other person did. And so I helped to establish that. And I stuck with that exact principle the entire time, all the years that I was there. Because 1, that's how I am. But 2, I wasn't there for me. I wasn't necessarily there for just the employees, although they were my main concern. But we were there for everybody. We wanted everything to be done the proper way. And I was going to help other people find solutions to their problems, as well as my department. That's just how I do things. Now, like I said, you might not find something really, really big, but you need to deliver on something just to show people that you actually mean what you're promising or what you're hoping for. If you don't do anything, people won't believe your hype after a couple of weeks, and you've lost them forever. That's just not going to be productive. It's a lousy way to be a leader, and you're going to be disenchanted with what goes on. So you try to establish something early on as best that you can. So anyway, there's my 4 ways that I believe that you can help to establish yourself right off the bat. You establish a tone and a leadership style so that those folks will sit there and say, you know what? This is what I want. I can work with this. Or they say, I don't want to deal with this. I'm out of there. It's always better when you're new to get that out of the way up front. And more often than not, unless you're a jerk, I'm just going to tell it like it is, you're going to see positivity from the majority of the people. That's my thought on it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. My name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like stuff like this, link to it, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, and give me your ideas of other things that you might want to know about how to be a better leader. Y'all take care.